Hi, my name is Amara Minnis, and I wanted to take some time to share with you about how to support your pregnancy with essential oils and Young Living products. I have been a doula since 2004, and I have attended, at the time of this video, so summer of 2020, I have attended about 750 births. I did not use essential oils for probably 12 of those years. I've been using them often with my clients and teaching about them in my classes for several years now, and I have seen wonderful results personally and also with my clients. So I wanted to share with you about that today. I began using essential oils because I wanted my home to smell good. I didn't want to use air fresheners and candles and I should not say the company. I did not want to use plug-ins to make my home smell nice. I wanted it to smell nice, but I wanted it to be done in a way that was safe. The more I learned, the more I was shocked to realize that there are toxic chemicals that are being put in the air of my home when I was making it smell good. It may smell good, but it wasn't doing good for me or my family. So that was the beginning. I got a premium starter kit with Young Living in a box like this, and it came with a lovely diffuser, and I enjoyed it. I diffused a couple oils at a time, and the rest of the box I kept in the corner for a while. Finally opened the box and really started to explore how all of the oils in the box could help me, and that is when I really became more committed to living above the wellness line and ditching and switching things systematically in my home so that I no longer was using products that had those chemicals that were damaging and that were compromising the optimal health of my body, impacting immunity, impacting proper functioning of cells, inflammation, all sorts of things. So what it came down to is realizing that these products being plant-based, they are bioidentical. So when they go on my body or into my body cells recognizes them and knows what to do with them. Even if it doesn't need them, it recognizes them and knows what to do with them, as opposed to things that are not bioidentical. Xenoestrogens, there are some scary things out there, and I won't spend time on it right now, but there are things that are masquerading as what our body would recognize, but it's not what it thinks, and then our body reacts with an inflammatory response, and that causes a whole host of problems, from digestive issues to really big issues that I won't go into right now. But let's optimize the health of our bodies, especially in pregnancy. So my passion is with birth and pregnancy and postpartum, not in that order. So it just seems fitting to share with you today about how to incorporate these things into a healthy pregnancy, a healthy birth, and a healthy postpartum. So this segment is going to be focused on using these products to support your pregnancy. And then we will move on in the next video to cover birth, and then another one to cover postpartum. I'm trying to keep this concise, so we'll see how I do. A brief review of I talked about how essential oils work. Let me show you where I'm getting my information. I am getting my information, or I would recommend you have these books as well. The Essential Oils Pocket Reference Guide. Everyone in my group has this. You get this from me if you do decide to become wholesome member with Young Living and have this kit that I have that got me started. This is like an essential oils Bible. But for the purposes of today, I'm actually going to be referencing more of what I learned from Deborah Rayburn in her Gentle Babies book. She covers all sorts of ways to use essential oils for you, with your baby, even in your birth, and has some, lots of great information in here. So I cannot speak high enough of that book. She's also conservative in her recommendations. So anything that you see in that book, you can know is safe, and then go from there. So, safety and labeling of essential oils. This blew my mind. I was so shocked when I learned this. But did you know that a bottle of essential oil only has to contain 5% of that actual essential oil to be labeled as 100% therapeutic grade essential oil? Guys, that's like 95% of mystery liquid in that bottle. So, it could be carrier oil. The essential oil, how is it processed? Is it pure? What are those standards? Because Young Living standards, their seed to seal promise is way above bar, beyond organic. They hand weed the fields, no pesticides, no machines. It's incredible the amount of care they take. And anything that does not meet their third-party testing is not sold. So is that how they are distilled? Is that how they are bottled? There could be fragrance in them. Fragrance is a loophole term that covers a whole host of potential dangerous things. It's a non-specific word, so you really don't know what you're getting when it says fragrance. Here's a clue. Lavender essential oil from Young Living comes in a Vitality version. The oil in the Vitality bottle, which would be a white label, let me use an oil that I have, Digi. So, okay, no, that's a blend. So lavender, okay, lavender comes in Vitality line. That means it is safe for ingestion. If you see lavender anywhere else and look at it on the back, it will warn you against ingesting it. So that's just a little clue to you. What else is in that lavender? It is not pure, essential, 100% therapeutic grade essential oil through and through. It is adulterated with something. So put the cart before the horse a little bit there, but let's talk about how we use essential oils. You can diffuse essential oils using a diffuser, just using the bottle, smelling from the bottle, applying it to a cotton ball and smelling that way, or applying it to diffuser jewelry. This is a diffuser necklace that I actually made. This has become a fun hobby of mine too. Let me know if you're interested in that. I have some available. And there's also bracelets, diffuser jewelry in that way. So you can diffuse essential oils. Start low and then grow. So 1 or 2 drops in a diffuser is great if you, so I'll just start it that way. You can also use essential oils topically. When we use them topically, you can apply some of them neat to the skin, which means not diluted. Go with your comfort on that. You can also look in the reference guide for resources or in Deborah's book. If you dilute for a baby, anyone 2 years and younger, the recommendation is 1 tablespoon of carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. So that carrier oil could be V6 vegetable oil complex from Young Living. It could be jojoba oil. It could be fractionated coconut oil, almond oil, things of that nature. For anyone over 2 or an adult, 1 teaspoon to 1 drop of essential oil is sufficient. So we can apply it topically. And the third way to use essential oils is to ingest. And there are oils that are safe to ingest. Young Living has a whole line that is called the Vitality line of essential oils. They're in a white label. They're labeled safe to ingest. The FDA approves this labeling. However, I'll give you a tip. This is Digi's, Vitality line Digi's. This is Digi's regular label Digi's. They're the same exact oil, but the FDA requires that we have them labeled as safe to ingest. But they're the same oil, if you catch my drift. Same oil in those 2 bottles. Okay, so let's move on and get to the main information here I wanted to share with you. Let's talk about pregnancy and shifts in your body and how you can support those shifts. Shifts in your body. You got changes in your energy level. You may have trouble sleeping because you have to go to the bathroom all the time. There's a lot of hormonal changes that are making it so you have to go to the bathroom all the time when your baby is a teensy little bean. You might have issues with sleep because you're uncomfortable. You're starting to feel things stretching and getting loose as that relaxin is increasing throughout your body. You may have trouble sleeping because you're anxious. So let's address those things. Energy levels and sleep. Ninja Red. This is an excellent supplement drink full of antioxidants. It is actually a prebiotic that feeds a probiotic. I would also recommend a probiotic in pregnancy. Life 9 is an excellent one. It's important for you to have a healthy gut. Your immune system actually originates there. So it's important that we keep that strong. Let's see. sleep, energy levels. Peppermint, that's the thing I was going to think of. So peppermint essential oil can really help you feel like you've got a boost of energy if you're feeling a little, listless. Just take a little whiff of it. Peppermint essential oil can also help if you're feeling nauseous. Now, if you're dealing with morning sickness, you may find that peppermint helps with waves of nausea. So just inhaling that can help. Putting lemon essential oil in your water can also help with digestion. This is not the Vitality lemon. It's the same oil as what's in the Vitality bottle. I just don't have a Vitality bottle with me. So lemon essential oil can actually help. It's different. Lemon essential oil is cold pressed from the rind, so it is not the same as lemon juice that is very acidic. It's actually alkaline, so it helps to neutralize the acids that can irritate your stomach and irritate your digestive system and maybe make you feel nauseous. So lemon in your water, a drop or two of lemon can be really wonderful support. And peppermint as well. Peppermint, I put that in my water, but I also inhale it. Okay, promote healthy sleep patterns. If you have a diffuser with a red light setting, the Desert Mist diffuser from Young Living does have a red light setting, so does the Owl diffuser. Red supports healthy sleep patterns. Something else that you can do is diffuse essential oils that can support sleep and relaxation. Lavender comes to mind. It is very popular for that. I diffuse this every night for myself. Lavender, you can pair lavender with frankincense to help support sleep. These are all oils in the premium starter kit. So that's a tip for you. Some people also enjoy diffusing peace and calming along with lavender or frankincense to support healthy sleep. I'll get back to peace and calming in a minute. Digestion, we talked about that. As your baby grows inside you, things are shifting and get squished and cramped. So first of all, stay hydrated. That is an important rule of thumb all through pregnancy and certainly all through your labor and all through postpartum, because then you're making milk. Talked about Digize and peppermint, that those can be really helpful talked about peppermint, I'm sorry. Digize and peppermint can both be really helpful after meals. If your stomach acids are really irritating you, you can take Digize and actually put it in your water. See, it's a white Vitality. And this is peppermint. It is a very strong taste, so many people prefer to put it in a veggie capsule and ingest it that way, or just apply it topically to your abdomen. You could apply it to the bottoms of your feet too. It's going to get where it needs to get, but I like to apply it directly over the area that I want it to serve, just to have intention with how I apply it to my body. So those would be some ways to help with the digestion. Let me make sure I'm not missing something. Yes, Ningxia Red also is an excellent source of fiber, which is good for keeping things moving in your digestion, if you catch my drift. And of course, it's that prebiotic for the probiotic that fertilizes and helps that probiotic flourish. Respiratory, near the end of your pregnancy, you might find it difficult to catch your breath. You're huffing and puffing, doing the simplest things. Raven. So Raven is a really great oil to support being able to take a deep breath. So that would be one I would recommend. That's a blend. But you also might notice, if you are someone who has issues with breathing as the seasons change, you might be looking at some healthier alternatives that don't involve medication as you're considering life with the baby in your house. So what many people have found helpful is diffusing lavender, peppermint, and lemon. I'm trying to get them to give you the visual. These three powerhouse oils can be diffused to help support your system during the change of seasons. They can also be put in a veggie capsule, as long as they're the Vitality version, because that's the proper bottle to use. Same oil, different label bottle, same oil in both. Put those in a veggie capsule and take it internally to support your system during the change of seasons. I might have notes here, make sure I don't. Okay, if you haven't already researched MTHFR, now is a great time. 50% of the population has a genetic mutation, and it's important that you're getting the proper form of folate, not folic acid, during your pregnancy. It's not going to be taken in by your body if you have this genetic mutation. So err on the side of caution, and just be sure that any kind of multivitamin you take or supplement you take do contain folate. Of course, Young Living has some vitamins that would be really wonderful prenatally that contain folate. One more, multigreens. It's the first supplement from Young Living to include essential oils, and before inclusion, there was a 42% blood absorption in 24 hours. And then after adding essential oils, the absorption increased to 64% in 30 minutes and 86% in an hour. So they have incorporated essential oils in the supplements to help improve the body's ability to take the supplements into the cells, which is really quite remarkable. So the conclusion was that the cells receiving the nutrients now are able to assimilate them in a way that they weren't previously able to. Skeletal system. Your skeletal system, things are shifting a lot easier as that relaxin is pulsing through your body at greater and greater amounts. It will culminate, it will be at the highest levels at the time of birth, but that doesn't mean that your body isn't loosey-goosey all over leading up to that. So you may, ideally, what's being loosened is your pelvis to encourage opening and moving to accommodate your baby's passage through. But what happens is you might also find loose ligaments in your shoulder. You might drop your keys a lot because you have loose ligaments in your hands. Women talk about growing a shoe size. That's often because your ligaments are loose, and there are a lot of ligaments around all the bones in those feet. There's also some swelling that could happen. So that's another example of those ligaments stretching. But to support that, you might, Ningxia Red can help to reduce the free radicals in the body that are responsible for inflammation. So anything that we can do to help reduce inflammation as you are growing and getting rounder and heavier with life, that would be a wise thing to do. See if there's something else. If you are feeling some achiness, then I don't have it in front of me, but Panaway is also in the starter kit, and Panaway is an essential oil blend that is really relieving to your muscles. So that's something you could rub with a carrier oil on your back or on your neck if you're feeling tightness or tension. Emotional support. We are almost done. This is going long. I'm so sorry. Emotional support. So the biggest concern, I think, in pregnancy is the fear of the unknown. And my first recommendation in addressing fear of the unknown is educate yourself. A quality, in-depth childbirth education class would be a great way to do that. Some people do independent research and watch videos or movies, take an online class, but there's a lot of benefit to taking childbirth education that's an in-depth class, especially when you can interact with other couples, because then you have friends that can walk this journey with you. Aside from educating yourself, let's talk about some emotional support through essential oils. Frankincense. Frankincense is, we call it the trance oil because it is very grounding and centering. It's excellent for yoga. So if you do prenatal yoga, I would recommend you diffuse frankincense during that time. Lavender is another, frankincense is also great for sleep support. I put it in my diffuser along with the lavender that I mentioned earlier about sleep support. Lavender can also help you relax and be calm. So again, we would diffuse this. You could apply it maybe to your heart or put it on diffuser jewelry. The next one would be Peace and Calming. Peace and Calming is a blend. I forget everything in it, but it does have patchouli and it has, I think, tangerine, some citrus. So it's uplifting and calming at the same time. This is a very popular one to put on diffuser jewelry because it just smells so good. It's also very popular in the diffuser. So diffuse this if you're feeling some anxiety creep up. And last but not least, my hand smell so good. Last but not least, stress away. That's another one that is excellent for helping you to relax and not feel stressed. We call it vacation in a bottle. It has vanilla in it. It has copaiba, lime, and something else I'm forgetting. But it smells really yummy. A friend of mine diffuses it with lime, and it smells like key lime pie to her. So stress away. If you're feeling anxious, this is the oil for you as well. So any of those. Valor is another one. I'll end on valor. Valor we call courage in a bottle. So if things are feeling overwhelming to you in your pregnancy, as you contemplate motherhood, how your life might be different, valor would be an excellent one for you to diffuse or put on jewelry and just take a little smell of it when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's another one of Young Living's blends, but we love valor, and I really love valor in labor, and I'll share with that a little later. So I believe these are all, I think these are pretty much all of the oils that I wanted to share with you in regard to pregnancy. So stay tuned and feel free to watch the video on labor.